I'm Dr. Lori. I'm outside of Pittsburgh in Monroeville, Pennsylvania at the Goodwill store. I'm going to show you what bargains that everybody overlooked. Come thrift with me. How about a biscuit jar? How about a porcelain biscuit jar from the early 1900s? So between 1910 and 1930, probably the 20s because of this. That's the Rococo Revival image that you typically see. Here's the matching lid. They put the label on. They only want $2.99 for it. So not realizing that that piece is German made. That manufacturer is early 20th century. It's all porcelain. The flowers are hand painted. The little images of the lovers are transferware. That's a biscuit jar. So before we had cookie jars, because all after World War II everybody's fat, this is biscuit jars. Our cookies were little in the early 20th century. They get bigger after World War II, and so do we. That particular piece, easily 90 bucks. So that's a gorgeous example, and one that shouldn't be sitting here. And I'm putting it back for you. These little cups, there's 4 of them down there, but this one is a little piece of Candlewick. Candlewick is that repeating little, they look like little bubbles, little beads all the way across. Candlewick is very popular. This is a reproduction of Candlewick, however. But if you saw real Candlewick, every one of these little beads would be perfectly just touching, like pearls, just touching one another. It's on the wrong shaped cup. So the cup has this shape, sort of like a little flare shape. That's not usually what you see with Candlewick. Candlewick is a style. What do they want for these? They want 99 cents for these, which is too high for these. These cups should be more like 30 cents, 40 cents each. So I would leave those right there. But I leave everything. I find the values, I find the bargains, and I leave them right there for you to find. How about a reticulated dish? This dish, reticulated, cut out, porcelain. You can see that it's porcelain. It's thin, it's white, it's very bright in color. See how thin that is? That's porcelain, so it doesn't break. So that's important that it doesn't break because it's higher quality. It has nice transferware decoration for the florals and a mark at the back and the back. I should put my glasses on. Bavaria, that one's German, and there's your Bavaria mark. $3.29 is a good deal for this. This little plate is a decorative plate, so it's not you're not gonna put any food on it because there's decoration here. You could put hard candies maybe if they're wrapped on it, or it's just, like my mom would say, for nice, right? That particular piece, I would say value on that is $20. A little bit of blue-white. That one says it's made in Japan, so it's trying to look like Canton Ware, which is early pieces from the colonial period, like the late 1700s, early 1800s. That looks like Canton Ware. It usually has a pattern around the rim, and it usually has a landscape image, an Asian landscape image in the middle. This one's made in Japan, and it's made rather contemporarily. So it's made early, and this one, see all kind of the yellow? That indicates the piece was probably stored in a home where there were smokers, and it also indicates the piece is a little bit younger by the mark. Value on this piece in an old style, but a new piece, value on this is probably 10 bucks. They want $3.25, $3.29. So I'd probably leave this here. It's trying to look like something that it's not. Here's why I like this. I like the shape, I like the color, and I also like the decorative elements here. So it's trying to look Italian. It probably was made in Asia. It's probably made in China. It could have been made in Taiwan. So for $3.29, it's probably worth $5. I'd probably say, yeah, if you like the colors, sure, but it's not going to make you a whole lot. These pieces, shoes, relate to prosperity. So at weddings in the 1950s and 60s, if someone gave you a shoe, they wanted you to have a prosperous life. And that's what these are. So this little shoe, it's just a knick-knack. It would go in a curio cabinet. This one, $3.29. That's too much for that. It's probably worth about $5. 1960s, abundance of flowers, right? Little flowers in the middle, little flowers around the edges, kind of sprays of flowers. The 1960s, very feminine, little serpentine edge around the dish, right? And then a little bit of sterling silver as well for the banding, right? The little banding. Johann Haviland. Here, made in Bavaria. This particular set, you've got a good number of pieces in this set. However, some are the repros from the 1970s. This piece is the repro from the 1970s. This one is made in Taiwan, made in Thailand, excuse me. So it's the same pattern, but it's not the same maker. And that means something, that matters, because the manufacturing materials are not as good. So don't think, oh, it's the same pattern, it must be the same. Look at the marks. Make sure the marks match. If they don't match, make sure that you're choosing the marks that's more valuable. So in this case, that would be the Haviland ones. They want 99 cents for each one of these, which is pretty good. These are worth about $2.50 for each one. Then you've got these. These are nice looking because they're classic. They're black and they're gold, and they want $1.99 for each one of the bowls. They also have some plates down here, dinner plates, and also some bread or dessert plates, depending on their size. Bread plates should be smaller than a salad plate, but bigger than a dessert plate. Royal Prestige. This is the Nocturne pattern. So the pattern will usually be marked right on it. I think for $1.99, these are a good price. They're worth about $3 a piece for this one piece. If you can negotiate that you can get all of these pieces of this pattern, right, all of it, even the serving bowl, for one price that's lower than all of these individual prices, well then I would say, yeah, you want to definitely pick that up. This is another one of those hand-painted floral pieces. This comes in the 1970s. A little bit bigger flowers, but they're also, again, very, very feminine in the look. And notice how bright and white this particular one is. And notice how brownish, right, beigeish this one is. So you always want to try to get the brighter or whiter color when it comes to the clay. The brown, the beige, the off-white, the gray color of the ceramic, not as valuable. And here are the cups. You have to look around because these pieces are going to change places, right? So these cups go along with the pieces that we just saw of Johann Haviland. So we just saw those little blue floral spray pieces. And then here are the cups. Here are the cups right here at $1.99 a cup, which is a lot for that cup. But you've got 8 of them. So you have a service, probably a service for 8 of that Nocturne pattern. But again, you're trying to get one price for the whole thing. So always negotiate, ask. Oh, they won't do it at my Goodwill. Oh, they don't have any bargains. Oh, they won't help me. Ask. Won't kill you, ask them. Just say, hey, you know what, can you do this for me? That would be great. And sometimes they will, and sometimes they can't. The shape made me come over here. It was the shape, not the color, the shape. The shape of this is a nice piece, and it takes one more move in order to make that. So that's why I came over here. These pieces are nice too. These are the traditional cups that in fact are made by Corning. They're tableware. They didn't only make ovenware and other things, bakeware, but they made also tableware. This cup of coffee, I'm sorry, this is doing nothing for me. I have to have a cup of coffee. This is like a joke. This is like a sip of coffee. Oh wow, look at that. This piece is a purse, vintage, really vintage, probably the 1960s. Look at this brass plate that picks up and opens up to this sateen lining. This piece is very, very, almost made like costume jewelry of the time period is made from the 60s. Look at all the little inset pieces, the coral, the turquoise, the seed pearl, and then of course molded brass. What do they want for that? They want $7.69 for that. So $7.69 for this. This pocketbook's worth 30 bucks. That whole, there's the rest of the serving pieces. There's sugar, there's creamer, there's salt and pepper shaker, there's a sauce boat, there's the sauce boat right there. Here's a butter dish, here's the sugar bowl that goes with the creamer, the coffee pot, long and slender is a coffee pot, that's not a teapot. Teapots have to be short and stout. And don't forget about the platter, that's a really nice set. Oh, look at the little sofa, little apple sofa. I don't know why anyone would need that, but there it is. Vintage hats, this hat's from the 1960s. And the reason why it has any value is because it's a feather hat. A lot of hats are out there, vintage hats, but this one is a feather hat. They want $4.99 for it. It's all of the feathers that make it valuable. People will take off the feathers, they won't use the hat, or they'll use the hat with the feathers. And the fact that all the feathers are still intact is what makes it worth about $15. So I obviously there's a collection of dolls here that just got donated. They're in the manner of Seymour Man, 1980s dolls. I picked this one. I want you to look at the eyes. When the eyes look like they're not going anywhere, they don't look realistic, the dolls are not usually all that valuable. This one does not have a mark on the back of her neck either. It has one of these stands, which are difficult. No mark on the back of the neck. So it has a ceramic head, it has natural hair, natural human hair, and a nice outfit. They date probably from the 1980s. This one dates from the late 80s, early 90s. So while these stands are not great for dolls, they do allow them to stand up. People have this, oh, nobody wants dolls anymore, nobody wants dolls. People are still collecting dolls. So I'd say for the $5.99 that's on the stand, which means the doll and the stand, for that price, it's probably worth about 30 bucks. I like realism in sculpture. Look how realistic that dog is, but not a good material. So that material it's $3.29. It's resin, so it's wax basically. And then they kind of highlight the wax. They put some glass eyes in, which costs a little bit of money, but again, the glass eyes impact the value, increase the value a little bit. They want $3.29 for it. It's not really worth more than $5 because it's resin. So Barbies in the original box, Happy Holidays Barbies. These are the late 90s, early 2000s Barbies. They have to be in the original box. They can't have been opened. So that's one of the things. This has a price tag of $14.99. Now I know you're all going crazy. $14.99, that's so much at a thrift store. There aren't any more bargains at thrift stores, blah, blah, blah. That doll is worth 30 bucks. So there's one. This doll in the original box, limited special edition Barbie. There are people who still collect these pieces. They still collect Hummels. They still collect dolls. They still collect Barbies. These things that everyone thinks, oh, no one collects those anymore. They do. This one is in very good shape too. So it looks like a doll collection got donated. $14.99, $30. I'll put this in here just momentarily because they're too big. Here's the one that's my favorite because I love Snow White. Everybody loves their own princess. I love Snow White, the brunette princess. And here she is, $14.99 for this one. And then one more of these Barbie special edition for the holidays. And when you look at them, you want to look for the codes here because it will tell you the date. In 1996 here, Mattel. I think it says 1996. You've got to use your loop to see. 1998 Mattel. And you can buy the loop if you want to right here. The loop that I use is right here. It's the one I recommend. Has a $14.99 tag on it. Again, this one also a Barbie. That one's going to be $30. But I don't buy them from you. Remember, I'm finding you the bargains, I'm showing you the bargains, and then I'm sending them right back to the shelf. So you can come and get them. I'm not finding them and then taking them for myself and then trying to sell them back to people on, of course, eBay or other places. And here's some more of these same knockoffs. See how many there are? There are always a lot. These are actually for punch bowls. That's why there are so many of them. Usually there are even as many as 16 for those punch bowls. And then you have some that look like crystal but aren't really crystal. That's these. They look like crystal, but they're actually pressed glass. I mean, it's really smooth. It's almost as smooth as this part of the champagne flute. Those were given away at banks and grocery stores in the 1970s, so they show up here all the time. Here's some more punch bowl cups. You really want the punch bowl. If you had the punch bowl, at least you could use the punch bowl for something. You know, you use it as a centerpiece bowl or something like that. They're pressed glass, they're low quality, they're everywhere, and they don't have the punch bowl. And these particular ones, again, 99 cents, not really worth it. You know about great rivalries, Ohio State, Michigan, the Yankees and the Red Sox. I didn't know, do you know, waffles and pancakes. Did you know there were a rivalry? What would you pick? I'm not going to bore you with the whole rack one at a time, one after the other. I want to show you the winners. The red Alfred Dunner with the original buttons. Alfred Dunner, it's a 16, so I mean, don't fit most people. And then we've got, that's a no, that's a yes. London Fog. Look for the name. It's large. This one's nice. This one seems to have all of the buttons, seems to have the right closures. They want $15.99, $15.99. That piece is worth $75. This Alfred Dunner, let's see how much they want. They want $19.99. They want 20 bucks. That one is worth $75. I like the Shaquille O'Neal hanger, although it's not a Shaquille O'Neal shirt. And Calvin Klein. They're all new. This one's extra small. But for lots of folks with these coats are always a good place to look when you're looking for clothing in general, vintage or thrifting, because they're made better. They have better materials to start typically. So yeah, it's about designers and such, but better materials typically to start. So I always say if you're starting out, try coats, $24.99, but it's an extra small. So $24.99 is a little bit high for this. This piece is worth just about $70 too. So 70, 70, 75, that's pretty good for a small rack of coats. I'm gonna shout out some names for you. J. Crew, another London Fog. How about Nautica, Land's End, St. John's Bay, that's a nice piece. St. John's Bay, they want $8.99 for the vest. So value on that, best 30. The Nautica, they want $15.99 for the size large. Remember, the different sizes matter. You want to get a mainstream size. So That one's 60. The London Fog, that's a nice London Fog. It looks like it's double extra large. It's extra large. Always look at the lining and see if there's an additional lining, right, to keep you nice and warm. My father would say, you want to protect your kidneys and keep them warm. I don't know why the kidneys had to be warmer than every other place. So $16.99. Women's size extra large. Value on that one's 70. And this one is the J. Crew. It should be lower, $11.99. It is. Prices are reasonable. Value on that one, 50 bucks. Don't pass by something like this, because you can never have enough sequins, especially in red, with the matching pants for your next sweatsuit outfit. Those I'd probably leave here. I like jean jackets. Hollister. That one's okay. $7.99. A little beat up. It's a little beat up at $7.99. I'd probably say $19.99. Probably 20 bucks for that. Oh, Cole Haan. Whoa, look at that. That's a nice brown wool Cole Haan coat. Size 12. So a nice main size. Still has the belt. I don't see a tag. I'll tell you it's worth 100 bucks. Hey, I had this coat. Actually, I had this coat. I don't any longer have this coat. I went into jury duty wearing this coat, Calvin Klein, and never came out with it. I don't know what happened. $20.99. Yeah, see, they knew I had this coat. I don't think mine was a size 12 though. But that's a nice warm coat. I remember it well. For $20.99, that coat's worth 50 bucks. Cole Haan, here's a Calvin Klein jacket. That's like a little jacket, $6.99. Wow. These are good prices. These are really good prices. Value on that's going to be 40. Ralph Lauren, LRL. Here's Ralph Lauren in a small little jacket. And here's $12.99. Value on that one's going to be around 40 on the resale market. A lot of you ask why I wear gloves. You think I'm a germaphobe. I'm not a germaphobe. It's because the oils on your hands can be transferred to objects, attract dirt, and deteriorate those objects. I'm leaving the objects here for you, so I don't want to deteriorate them or devalue them. That's why I wear the gloves. I shopped. I found bargains. I left them for you. There's more to come.